So welcome to the Sunday night talk. Oh dear. And before I start, I will just list a few things extra that I apparently do. There's the links underneath the video. There's a link to private sessions. I do private sessions where we go into a lot more detail. Hi, Joe. Hi, Tracy. Talks and events. I've got an event coming up on the 16th and 17th of December in Brighton. It's 2 afternoons, 2 longish afternoons. Hi, Paul. Hi, Donnie. Hi, Will. Yeah, there's a link to my book there as well. The second book, we're getting in there. We've got about maybe 80 pages so far. We're going to go for a lot more than that. It's going to be a much bigger book. If you want to donate, and thank you to those who do donate, it really helps me with my website and internet and everything. And there's also a link there to my Facebook page. And I will probably speak first, as usual, and then hi, Sebastian, and then questions in the chat panel after that. I'll answer some questions after I've spoken a bit, Sebastian. So I did a blog today, a short blog, and I tried to kind of, I don't know, not trick people, but lure them in, because I know that the seeker is really interested in who has it and who hasn't got it. So I started off by saying, I'm going to list those, or something like that, in paraphrasing, who has it and who doesn't have it. And the answer is nobody has it. Nobody has it because it is everything. It's just what's happening. It's just this. Nobody can have this because it already is the case. But the seeker wants to go towards something. It thinks it's getting closer when it has experiences, or it thinks it's getting closer when the sense of self is weaker, thinks it's going farther away when the sense of self is stronger. And all that is just life. It's just life. It's just aliveness appearing as that. It's not appearing. It's not a me. The me is an appearance of life, no different from a plant or a cup. It's no different. It's all life, all of it. So what happens when the seeker says somebody has it and then goes and sees them or thinks they've got it, they're in a way, they're just kind of becoming like a devotee, even though it's a subtle thing. It's a subtle thing, and they're chasing something which is utterly illusory. Nobody got anything. In fact, it was the end of getting. It was an ungetting. It was the end of everything. It's the end of an apparent life of somebody, but there isn't a somebody. The somebody's just an appearance. Life appears as being somebody, but it's not a real person. So in that sense, nobody dies. You can ask questions when I've finished speaking, if that's okay, Tracy. Otherwise, I'll lose it. Nobody died. Lisa didn't die because Lisa never was. Lisa, there was no one ever called Lisa. There isn't anything. There's a body sat in a chair in a room speaking. But that isn't anything. There's no me's. They're nothing. They're nothing. They're just an appearance. There is no something that can be got. You can't ever get towards it because that one that thinks it's going towards it is illusory, and there isn't anything to go towards. There's nothing here that is moving in time. This is it. This is it, folks. Even though the seeker, the sense of me, cannot, it just can't see that because it can't really see anything. It's like just lives in its own reality bubble. It lives in a completely separate reality, even though that reality is life appearing. So thinking somebody has it or hasn't got it is just another form of seeking. It's just another form of thinking there is something that somebody has or doesn't have. And they're waiting for me to die. I need to die. It's just a movie playing. It's just a dream. I don't understand, Tracy. What happens is you ask the questions here, just where you've written that. You just write the question there. I don't do Skype calls on this broadcast because I find that there's a better flow with people asking questions here, and I get to answer more questions then. It's just a nicer flow because in Skype the Skype calls tend to be really long, and then I guess I'm selfish. I don't get to participate with you guys, and I really like it. Get some good questions sometimes, really good, and it's more succinct to do it like this. So there's nobody called Tony Parsons. There's nobody called Lisa or anybody else. There's nobody speaking. This is life making sounds and words about life. Nobody's doing it. It's all freedom. This is the freedom for nobody. Beautiful, so radical, so free, utterly boundless. There's nothing that can be pinned down. There's nothing that can be pointed to even. Even though it sounds like I'm pointing to something, but I'm not pointing to something. It's just boundlessness speaking about boundlessness, which is boundless. Oh, it's great. Okay, so I'll get on with the question. So Sebastian is the first question. Just make that a bit bigger. Sebastian, did you suffer a lot when your boyfriend separated from you? That was a long time ago. Yes, for sure. Yeah. My poor little me heart was broken. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But now it's just, it never happened to anybody. Now it's just a memory of something That didn't really, didn't. It now lives as a memory. That was over 3 years ago now. When was the point as Lisa woke up from the dream? Okay, well, I'll first by saying Lisa didn't wake up from the dream. The dream of Lisa ended. That's a very significant difference. The dream of being somebody just ended. I don't remember when that was. Maybe 2 years ago? I actually don't remember the exact time. Or month. Or barely a year. It's like it's the end of all that. It's the end of that story just becomes utterly irrelevant. Because what is left is everything. Was it, I understand, was triggered the end of the dream? As a kind of a story, but you see, everything that appears is the aliveness, no matter what. See, looking, it's like you're trying to find a reason. Can't see you alive for some reason, says Tracy. Oh, I don't know why. Maybe just try refreshing the page, Tracy. Yeah, that might work. Or go back onto the Facebook page and see if you can, or go onto my channel because it'll say that I'm live there. See, nothing triggers it. Nothing can be done about it because it's not, this appearance is not up to the appearance of a person. This aliveness is just what it is, and there's nobody in control of it. So it's like saying an event triggered like some kind of awakening, and that's not how it is. It's the end of all that story of awakening. It's the end of the story of anybody who can awaken. Paul, memories can add to the me story. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, possibly, yeah. But memories are just memories. They're not anybody's memories. They're no more this body's memories than the memories of watching a movie, or reading a book, or reading someone's memoirs. They're no more my memories than their memories. They're just memories. Thoughts are thoughts, memories are memories, feelings are feelings. They're in utter free fall. Everything that appears is in utter free fall, and none of it belongs to anybody. Just in that, there is a sense of somebody. There is a sense of somebody who thinks it all belongs to them. Chris, I can talk with Lisa now. When Lisa dies, I can't talk to her anymore. Well, when there was before the end of the dream of being somebody, you wouldn't have spoken with her anyway. You would only just be a body talking to another body. You would never have been speaking to somebody. So when I'm speaking to Chris, I'm not speaking to somebody, to a me. I'm just talking to Chris. anybody in Chris. There's just an appearance of being somebody, but it isn't somebody. It isn't anybody. So he said, I can't talk to her anymore, and vice versa. So something ends. Yeah, the dream of being somebody ends. But then it is really clear that nothing ever ends and nothing ever begins. And that's impossible to describe to a sense of self, because it always sees everything in linear time and in related to things, forms, events. Chris, right, but it's still a conversation which eventually can't happen anymore. It's like I can't get my head around that. Still a conversation which eventually can't happen anymore. No, because you were never talking to anybody. It's just imagined that there is somebody in another body. There is nobody in anybody's. It's all imagined. It's all a fantasy. That I am talking to another me. Even if there is someone saying, but I have a me here, and you're talking to that person, you're not talking to a me. It's just imagine that you are. Oh, good, Tracy. When we both die, can we still talk? Yes, because we're already dead. It's already dead and already alive. It's everything. It's this. Difficult to wrap my brain around. Impossible. This brain can't be wrapped around it. This brain never even thinks about this. Thinks about painting and sci-fi. Paul, it's very subtle. Personal memories are owned by the me. Yeah, but if you did, yeah, but the memories aren't personal. It's the sense of self that makes them personal. The memories are actually very impersonal because they're just thoughts and pictures or words or whatever it is that arrive, that appear in the brain. It's only the sense of me that thinks they're my memories. That's when they're owned. Otherwise, they're just memories. I think that's what you mean, isn't it? So when we both die, we can still talk. No, we both can't talk. There'll just be talking happening. Like it is now. You're talking in a form of typing and I'm talking in a form of sound. Yeah. Nobody's talking to each other. It's life talking. It's aliveness talking. It's aliveness talking about aliveness. There's nobody talking here. Oh, it's too good. Hi, CDD. Thoughts are only electrical sparks in the brain. If I just watch them and not listen to them. Yeah, they're just pictures. They're just another form. They're just another appearance. And if there's feelings that goes with those forms, then they're just an appearance too. It's always just what is. You could say it's always the Big Bang and always the collapse of the universe. It's always that. Always this. Yeah, electrical sparks. I don't really know what they are. Possibly. But here they're just pictures. The sense of self, in a way, is no different from a thought arising. Except for it feels very different, it feels really real. And then the sense of self gets attached to thoughts and thinks that's real, and my feelings about them are real. But in reality, they're absolutely no different at all. I was just looking down here, and because I popped the chat out, it says, nothing to see here. Chris, Hang Po said there is only one mind and not a particular of anything else. I've tried to build on that. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if anything is true, or that anyone knows anything. Well, from here, it's obvious that no one knows anything because there isn't anybody. There is only one mind. I guess if that person means there is only just one appearance or one happening, I wouldn't call it a mind. I don't know what, there's no name for it really. It's just what is. And to say anything is true would mean that something is true. It's always trying to pin it down to something. There is no truth. There is nothing that's true. It's the end of all that. Hi, Mansell. How is it possible to live beyond time and space dimension and at the same time be functional with the empirical reality? It's the same thing. What is happening is beyond time and space. What is living in empirical reality, if that's experience reality, I mean, actually there's nothing here that experiences reality. There's just functioning happening. And there's just functioning, it's the same there, Mansour. It's no different there from it is here. It just seems to be believed that it is different. Right now, you have been typing beyond time and space. It's just what's happening. Because nobody is living in functional empirical reality. It's just action happens. Chris, Hang Po was a 9th century Zen master. People argue about whether one mind was the right translation or universal consciousness. Yeah, there's always people trying to put words on what is. And it can be quite a distraction. Because then there's all the arguing about what one mind means. Well, that's just missing the point, isn't it? Hi, Bhakti. Joe, is what is a foundation? No. No. There is no foundation. You could say that what is this is a metaphor, don't quote me on this, is just falling through emptiness, is emptiness. There's no ground. Chris, but if we don't put words on it, how can we talk about it? Yeah, it's true, we are talking about it. But I would not put a word, the closest I can say to what this is this, or what's happening, what is here, this. If I put a word like one mind on it, it sounds like something One mind. Like there's a consciousness in it. And speaking about it is just great. It's just great. And I speak with lots of people about it, and we just, everyone. It's just a great subject, isn't it? The subject of nothing and everything. Hi, Lee. Could you say there aren't individual beings, but one big being? No. A being. Well, if that's the case, then the being is the wall and the carpet and the desk and the plant and the air and the light, the thoughts, the feelings. But it's not really a being, is it? It's beyond being. It is being, because here it is being, but it isn't being something. Bhakti. This is what is happening. It's empty and it doesn't say anything, just is. Yes. Yes. Chris, I love it. Yeah. Yeah, it really is just love, isn't it? Not the human love. Not love that is something, just love. Hi, Paul. It's free fall and nothing happening at the same time. Yeah, it's because I say nothing because there is no thing. There is no it. There is nothing that can be held on to. It's just everything, which is not a thing and is totally untouchable. That's why I say free fall, because it's utterly ungraspable. Chris, well, Hangpo also said that as soon as you name it, you fall into error. Yeah, it's impossible. How can you name all that is? End of labels, yeah. Tony Parsons said it was the loudest noise in the room. Yeah, that too, because it's full of contradictions. What is just fully is. And it is shouting, metaphorically speaking. Let's be careful sometimes with words. It is shouting. This, here, everything. Blasting into reality, blasting into this. And it's nothing that can be held on to. It's just beyond words, really. Bhakti. Do you have children? Do you teach them how to behave or things like that? I've got a 23-year-old, and no, I don't teach her anything. When she was a little girl, yeah, I teach her what's socially acceptable and what's not socially acceptable, and and things like that, so that your child can live in a society as best it can. Sure, but not anymore. She's too old for that. Hi, Alexandri. I saw you spent some time with Ananta. Would you have any comment on his teaching? Yeah, I did. No, I don't have any comment on his teaching. It is a teaching. I did enjoy being with him, but there was something not resonating here with him. He's a lovely man though, but I couldn't do the guru thing. I think I had a little spate of it, but then there was the kind of, that all just dropped away. Really, when that whole fake reality of me drops away, that whole idea that somebody has something also just falls away. He has a teaching of awareness. He does the awareness teaching, but I can't find any awareness. There is no awareness. There's no awareness, there's no consciousness. There's just life happening all at once. Where would be the awareness? Awareness is just another thing. So looking for awareness is like looking for another thing when there isn't anything separate. It's all the one appearance. Chris, you have another book coming out? Yeah, we're really going to try and do it before the end of the year. It's a lot of work though. Similar to the first one, or no, it's not similar to the first. It's the same message, obviously. It's just put differently. It's feels more radical than the last one. That's all I'd say, really. Feels more hardcore, non-duality. And the other one was, but it's just, I don't know. You know, the message changes over time. Just in time for Christmas, yeah. Buy it for your partners or yourself. Paul, please tell me how point A and point B are in the same place. Well, there isn't a point A and a point B, but I'll attempt to demonstrate that. Here's point A. Here's point B. Both in the same place. There isn't. I don't understand what you mean by point A and point B. Do you mean like a beginning and an end? Because there is no beginning and end. The only thing you can find as a beginning and an end is in a story or a description, but that's all simultaneously happening at once. Chris, so here's something I wondered. Are you going to sell autographed copies? Because I like to collect things. No. I mean, it'd just be kind of weird, to be honest, because nobody wrote the book. And also, I don't sell them from here, I sell them on Amazon. So you'd have to send it to me, I'd have to scribble in it and send it back. Back to you. Then why do they teach meditation and yoga to get energy high from the Muladhara? I don't know what that means. Does anything exist? Because I don't hear my energy saying anything like that. Meditation and yoga. Well, there's nobody teaching meditation and yoga. And energy high up is that's just an appearance. That's just what is. It's not going anywhere. There's no end to it. There's no goal. It's already everything. And when that sense of time and space is no longer there, it's really clear that nothing moved from here to here. Nothing moved from point A to point B, because it's exactly the same thing. I'd like it if you did. Makes for a more fun story. We'll make for an embarrassing one here. I find it embarrassing because it's like pretending that I wrote it or something. I'd pay for that. Okay, well if you pay for it, then I consider it, yeah. Go anything for a quick 10 quid. Paul, you said you were in your car at the top of a hill. Then when you drove to the bottom of the hill, you said you didn't go anywhere. Oh yeah, I used to do that. That was really years ago that I used to do that. Yeah, but you see, when you get to the bottom of the hill, it's just still this, isn't it? And being at the top of the hill would have to just be a memory. Nothing moved. Just a different appearance, and then there's a memory of a different appearance. It's just the same. It's like it's all landing at once, boom, all the time, without landing. You can only speak in metaphors. It's impossible any other way. But so the whole is just landing all at once. Chris, a goal in Zen meditation at least is to see directly that there is no self. Yeah, but that would mean that somebody's seeing that. There's nobody to see that. CDD. I was also in my car driving to work when I had a glimpse, which lasted for 2 days. Yeah, it can happen like that. Yeah. There's just no sense of time and space in someone for 2 days. But you see, what you're seeing is that what you're remembering. I've lost the thread. Let's see my memory. I have to read it again. Yeah, see, you didn't have the glimpse. No one has the glimpse. No one has no me. It's just that there was 2 days without anything being there. And then the me tries to remember what that was like, but you can never remember what that was like. I mean, can you remember what that was like? It's impossible. It's just what's happening. It's just utter freedom. Tracy, I'm desperate for a glimpse, but I have to prepare for the fact that I may never have one. Well, Tracy, you are already total aliveness. The appearance of a me wanting a glimpse is total aliveness. It just can't be seen from that perspective, but that's what it is. And you won't have a glimpse. A glimpse is the end of a you, an appearance of you, because there is no you. There's only life. Alexandra, all there is glimpse. I felt stunned to not be anybody, to be free. Yeah, it is really stunning, but it's so impersonal, isn't it? It's so impersonal. There's only what's left is just what already is. Already is. It isn't a something that goes kazam and opens up something different. It's just clear that it just already is, and it's totally free. Paul, bring out the glimpses. Tell you, I'd make so much money if I could wave a magic wand and create glimpses. Make more money making glimpses because people would have to come back for another glimpse. Joe, everyone's not who they think they are. Tell you, my mind just stops sometimes when I read something like that. Everyone's not who they think they are. Bhakti. Life is violence. I sit down and meditate, lots of mosquitoes has to die. Yeah. Yeah, well, everything is killed. Everything. And everything appears. And then everything disappears. You could say that if I walked out into the street, that my living room violently died because it's not there anymore. This is life in free fall. This appearance doesn't give a shit about things dying because it is it as an appearance appearing to die. In reality, there is no death. There's no death. Can't find death. What would die? Just forms. Forms seem to disappear or fall to the ground. Kind of know the answers to the questions. Yeah. Hi, Sergey. Hello, dear Lisa. You say nobody is here. I see in front of me a person called Lisa Lennon, having thoughts, body, and emotions. This is the fact. What do you mean when you say nobody is here? I don't mean the body's not here. I just mean that someone who thought she was Lisa, who wanted to become awakened and free and get life better and life complete, that appearance just was not there anymore. And I would call that somebody. Somebody that lives in a reality of separation, that she is separate from everything else, that there was just her and everything else. And she was living in a trapped reality, which was unsatisfactory and felt like there was never going to be an end to it. That construct was never real. It was just an appearance. Joe, what's yin and yang? I have no idea. Sugar and salty? That thing? I don't know. I'd have to go into memory for that. Bhakti. That's why I don't understand reincarnation. Sadhguru, a famous mystic, written in his books about being born for the third time, the idea of that synchronization. Reincarnation. That means that somebody would have to be born. But we all know here that everyone is born without a sense of self. So nobody's born. Nobody's born. The sense of self always comes in after. The birth of the baby is totally selfless. Totally just part of what is, without any sense of separation. So I don't know what would be reincarnated. There isn't anybody who dies. So there is nothing to reincarnate, as far as I can see. I mean, I can't find I can't find that. I mean, do you remember being dead? CDD, there is a constructed self inside. Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's a construct. It's not a reality. It's a house of cards. Are you welcome, Siji? Hi, Claudia. I guess maybe if a person has memories of some sort of past birth, there might be memories of something, but those don't belong to anybody. I don't know anything about that sort of stuff. There's no interest in it, actually, because it's so irrelevant. When everything, when there's the world, when there's everything, when there's everything, what is the point in thinking about the fantasy of before I was born and after I died? Alexandra, Sadhguru also says that the sages have a beard because they absolutely need it to balance their strong energy. Haha. You know, I was joking with someone the other day. I said, we were talking about spiritual behavior and spiritual people and stuff like that. And I said, I've really got to get myself a stick-on beard. Maybe some beads. Yeah, all the great gurus have beards apparently, so women are out. Maybe my bad, I don't understand him. Well, yeah, I mean, how can we understand about that sort of thing? I mean, nobody even remembers. I mean, how could, I mean, to me, reincarnation is just a no subject. Because nobody knows that. It's all assumption and fantasy. Who cares? Who cares? This is freedom. This is the freedom. This, not some future fantasy. Would be nice a beard on you. Yeah. Do you reckon? Tracy, lots of strange rituals on spiritual path. Yeah, yeah. Path to nowhere. You never get anywhere. The self never gets anywhere. It thinks it does. You get these people who think they've got somewhere. Oh yeah, I'm much more wise now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite irreverent. I think it's healthy. This is freedom. Yeah. Joe, everything's the unknown. Yeah. These are good. These are good. Back to you. I hate the spiritual path. It's a path of utter misery. And if it's happening, it's happening, and that's the way life is appearing. But it's utter misery. It's a false. It's a false. It's a fantasy, because nothing is moving. This is the freedom. Sitting on a chair, reading these questions and comments. This is the freedom. It's already here. And it's already here appearing as not being free. And that's the wonderful irony. Freedom appearing as not being free. And trying to get free. And going down that horrible route of, yeah, torturing yourself. Through trying and trying and trying and trying to fit in, trying to do it right, trying to be meek enough, trying to be humble enough, bowing at people's feet. I mean, for goodness sake, people's feet. There's nobody in there. And there's certainly nobody in there that knows anything. That's false. Ranting now, sorry. Chris, and it's never enough. Tracy says, it's self-loathing. It's never enough. You never get there. Doesn't matter if you sit for 20 years in meditation with your thumb in the air. All that'll be happening is aliveness appearing, wasting its time sitting with its thumb in the air, but not wasting its time, but you know. CDD, the horrible root of desperately searching. Absolutely. Because nothing's going to be found. Because it's already found. It's already this. It's just so good. So complete, so perfect. There's no mistakes in it. No mistakes. Even the appearance of mistakes, there's no mistakes in that. Because it cannot be any other way. Hi, Lisa. In Mexico, we say tocaya, which means you're a person with the same name as you. And if it's a woman, it's a tocaya. Name twin means, which I think is really cute. When there's no person, then then everything just is. Just sort of ising. But where does love come into this? Yeah, I don't often talk about love. The word love comes up often. I would say beauty. The beauty of it. The magnificence. The splendor. See, I like these words more than love. Because love's a bit like using the word God. Has too many connotations. What you're asking about, the love or the beauty or the splendor or whatever it is, which has no words, cannot be described. I wouldn't even worry about the love. I just wouldn't. It's impossible to describe. It's not a love as in the feeling of love. It's just a wonder. Bhakti. As a child, we know this truth, but our confusion tortures us until we find someone like you to make us remember childhood. Yeah. But I have to say that it's not somebody. The listening and the words and the computer and the image of this human and the light and the thoughts are everything all at once, all life, all at once. Life appearing as bhakti, listening to this message. Bhakti. Now I prefer to be silent instead of saying it's all love. The word love is also not it. No, it's not. There is no it. There's nothing that you can put your finger on. Nothing. Not love. Not anything. Wow, that hour went quick. I've got 6 minutes left. This, what we're talking about, is so radical. It just chops everything away. And yet it is everything, chopping everything away. It's so radical. It's so free. Because there's nothing in it. No thing in it. Alexandra, liberation is the death of me, so what is shines. Or it can be the realization, the me is also what is. Yes. Yes. But it's not liberation for anyone. It's just the revealing that there was no one. And then that is just part of the appearance. That is just part of the appearance of aliveness. It isn't anything. It's no different from chucking a bit of junk in the river and it floating away. It really is nothing, though it feels so important and really wants its story to be heard and acknowledged when it's the strong sense of me. Or can it be the realization that the me is also what is? Yeah, because that is revealed at exactly the same time. When that house of cards topples down, just be seen like it really wasn't built on rock at all. It's literally a house of cards. It's just at the same time, it's just realized the sense of self was just aliveness happening. Donny, sweet nothings. Joe, Fireblade. Yeah. This message is so beautiful though, isn't it? I mean, it just really is. And it's really hard to talk to other people about, isn't it? Who aren't, who don't come to these sort of things. Just think you're crazy. What do you mean there's no me? Of course there's a me. Of course this is my life. This is the only place I can speak about it. With you guys. And it's a joy, really, it's a joy. Because it's so beautiful. Or I have some friends as well, but I met them through this. So, nobody gets it, says Tracy. Nobody gets it, because there isn't anybody. Nobody gets it. It's the end of somebody, nobody. CDD. Apparently, my me used glue on his house of cards. It seems that way, doesn't it? But when it topples, it just falls down as if there was never anything holding it together, because there's nothing holding it together. It's a totally illusory apparition. It's an apparition. It isn't really a me. There are no me's. It's nothing. It's a wisp of nothing. But when it's there, it feels really real. Because it would never see itself as a wisp of nothing, but it's not there. I mean, surely when you had those 2 days, you saw that it was just nothing. It wasn't anything. I mean, I can remember the suffering of it, though. I remember the suffering, but I don't know, I can't remember how that feels. I just remember it, but not as a feeling. That totally went as well. The suffering of the self totally falls. That sounds great for the me, but the me won't have it. The me's like, oh, I really want that. I really want my suffering to end for myself, so I will feel better. But it's not like that. It's the end of the whole shebang. The sense of self would not want what I'm talking about because there's nothing in it for it. It's the end of getting any acknowledgement, anything. It's just life in a flow. Chris, if the appearance of reality is illusion or illusory, can the construct of the illusion be changed? Let's go with the first bit. If the appearance of reality is illusion. No, it's not. This appearance of reality is not an illusion. It's just what's happening. It is aliveness happening. What I mean by illusion is the sense of self is not really a person. It appears as a person, but it's the illusion of a person. It's the apparition of a person. It's the construct, the structure. And that can't be changed. Who would change it? I'm not even sure that this construct of the illusion can be changed. Well, nobody's in charge of aliveness. Nobody's in charge of life. Life just does everything. Life's in charge. Though there is no one in life. Life does everything. There's nobody who can do anything at all to change anything. Just feels like there is, but it's not true. It's a total flow. Bhakti, spread non-duality so that every child gets a realized mother like you. Well, it's not possible. I mean, I just started a YouTube channel and just spoke, and I don't really spread it. It's just what happens. Just what happens. But I can see the love in your sentence. Thank you. My daughter, I don't know what she thinks of me. She's my daughter. She loves me. There we go. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Thanks, Donnie. Chris, I don't know, but you changed. I mean, you see things differently now. Yeah, I think there was a change. It just happened and I noticed it afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more, don't know, everything just seems even more immediate. It seems more nothing. And I was saying to Julie today, who's working on the book with me, and she noticed it too. And I said, how can there be more nothing or less something? How does that happen? I don't know. We said Thursday to Takaya. Oh. Oh, thank you, Lee. Exactly, because your spontaneity was killed by assumed ideology all over the world by the media projection of film, sports, personality who influence the standards. Yeah, it's life too. All of it. Oh, dear Tracy, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Chris, isn't that a change to the illusion, though? Isn't that a change to the illusion? A change to the illusion. You mean the change here? It's just a change, you know. If I came on one day and I had red hair, that would be a change. Nobody's doing that. Nobody says these words. Nobody has a thought about these words. These words aren't thought about or known. They just come out. They come out the way they come out. That's just the way it is. Thanks, Edie. Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, Sana. Thanks, Chris. Have a good week, everyone. Don't know if I'll be here midweek. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone, if I haven't mentioned you. And I'll definitely be here next week. Thanks, Sergey. And have a good week and lots of love.